Good morning. I've got new headphones. I'm hoping that they work properly. This is my first recording since acquiring them. Right, so this is gonna be a long video, but it's about time I did one. Right, so I am going to give my perspective on the last 7 days and how that relates to how I feel about human beings. Right, so on Saturday I suddenly started feeling unwell and I developed a fever which lasted 3 to 4 days. Total loss of appetite. Still don't have my appetite, but managing to survive. So I'm just walking back now from the sauna. Sorry, I keep saying sauna, steam room. And I left out on 4 sips of Lucozade, which I feel is enough energy to get me there and back. So, should this video conk out at some stage, then that means I should have taken 1 more sip of Lucozade. Anyways, I digress. So I suddenly fell ill, but I don't take human beings seriously. I think I've expressed that already. So fortunately, besides the carer, I didn't have anyone coming. The lady who helps out on a Saturday, she cancelled because she was unwell. And that was a godsend because I really didn't want anyone around at that, feeling how I was feeling. I just wanted to lie down. So that was Saturday. Sunday, same thing. Monday, same thing. Could barely crawl, but managed to crawl to the shop. I had to walk sideways down the stairs. But I was speaking to Miguel, the therapist, this morning, who has been on hand, has been calling me every day to check my progress. And so compared to how I was yesterday to how I am today, I'm like 100% better today than I was yesterday. And I'm nowhere near back to peak. I posted a picture to Facebook of myself on the way to the steam room, and I captioned it factory settings. I'm going to come to that shortly. So I'm the type of person who has no problem carrying 50-meter rolls of fabric up the stairs. But had you asked me to carry a 1-meter roll of fabric up the stairs, even up until Wednesday, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, knowing myself as well as I do, I see the illness, I respect the illness, and I deal with it. So, the factory settings thing is that rather than as soon as I recover my energy, I throw myself back into it, what I do is I build myself back up. So I'm beginning by putting 1 foot in front of the other by walking. So walking is very important, actually. But I'll come back to that. Yeah, so that was basically, I think, up until yesterday. The only reason I went out yesterday was because I have a dental appointment today at 10:30, and I didn't want today to be the first time that I try to do a journey. So I went out yesterday to break myself in. And here we are. So tomorrow I'm going to have to deal with the lady. She's going to come at some point tomorrow. So I have to put my energy on for that. And then once she's gone, I will have the whole of next week to do some more resetting. So that's that. Now, the point, I mean, as much as I was not, well, I mean, who enjoys being ill, apart from hypochondriacs? As much as I was not, let's just say not enjoying being ill, I did find amusement in it from the perspective that I kind of had people sympathizing with me, offering help in the most impractical ways, and as well sort of like trying to grasp at my attention. But besides the carer and Miguel, none of them were of any use to me. So, I mean, I have arrived at 57 years, and but for the odd bout of bad health here and there, such as the case is now, I have fantastic health. I do not look after myself to squander it on others who are a complete waste of space. And unfortunately, complete waste of space type people are always the ones seeming to want to grab at me. I don't know about anybody else, but at the time, all right, I'm not the kind of person who needs people to help me. I'm pretty practical in that because, as I said, I managed to get to the shop to pick up what I needed, and it was, I can't remember when, perhaps Tuesday. The carer said to me, "Don't go out. If you need anything, I'll get it for you," because she lives across the road from a supermarket. So I took her up on that. But the only thing is, when I went to give her the money, she didn't want it. And so I kind of thought, well, I don't really want that kind of arrangement, so I won't ask her again. So I didn't ask her. I went out yesterday and picked up what I needed to. All right, let me see where I'm going with this. All right, so the theme really is how useless human beings are. Right, I'm just going to go straight into it and say that it is a development problem. You cannot go through life just, going at the same speed, just not doing anything to improve ourselves and expecting, well, I can only speak for myself because I don't know anybody in the same position as me, but I actively, and I have been for 30 years, actively working to have, superior mind, superior body, superior spirit. How do I put this? All right, you can't be... All right, I'm going to have to just come out and say it. You can't be putting yourself in the same scene as me when you've done sod all to... All right, I'll use an example. You cannot go to Usain Bolt, who has spent years training and winning Olympic gold medals, and think that you and him have the same experience as regards sprinting, when all you've ever done is fun runs. You can't do that. And unfortunately, I get this with people who, well, I don't know what awareness people have. But who should have the awareness to know that we are not in the same league? Even with my sick self. You see, look, I'm out here and I've taken myself to the steam room and I'm walking as a means to getting myself back on the road. The reason why it's going to take a while is because I've lost my appetite. I haven't been eating. And there is that. So it's going to take me a while. But even with that, you people, you don't do gym, you don't do anything to improve yourselves, but you think you are my equal. And that sounds really horrible, doesn't it? But it is a fact. You cannot presume to be the same as someone else when you are not sharing the same experiences. I don't presume to be like people who don't exercise, who don't believe in God, who, don't practice self-discipline and the other things that I do. I do not presume to be the same as them. However, for some reason, these people will always find themselves knocking on my door. I think, as I said, the whole time I've been ill, I've found it comical. As well, people don't know how to respond to the idea that, like for example, I went to the gym yesterday and a couple of the guys said, I haven't seen you, and I said I haven't been well. And it's like, they don't know what to say. But yet when we're in the pool, the conversation is flowing. Something that is unnecessary that people will try to do, to me, is to give me encouragement. But if you can't encourage yourself to do better, how do you propose to encourage me? Again, it sounds like I'm being a horrible, nasty person. But these are facts. These are my observations while I've been flat on my back, putting my mind towards getting back on my feet. I'm not going to say, as human beings, we have to do better, because at this point, if we don't know that, then that's our problem. What I will say is, I am doing my damnedest to separate myself from the species to the point where I will only have contact on a not necessarily superficial level, but as I need to. If we are not one, if we do not have things in common, because you, the human being who can't be bothered to improve yourself, has got poorer standards, from here on, I don't say these things lightly. I study people. I study the way people conduct themselves. And for me to keep moving forward, I have to keep moving away from certain types of people. And unfortunately, the certain types of people means most human beings. But it is what it is. Right, so I'm going to wind up here. I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well, because I think it's going to be a 15-minute video. But that's all I really have to say. I think rather than trying to insert ourselves into other people's lives, we should fix up ourselves. And I say I don't mean me, because I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm minding my own business, living my life. But unfortunately, sometimes I find myself trapped amongst people who have an impact. But fortunately, I have sort of like I've developed certain skills to avoid the impact of other people's I don't know, other people's circumstances. But I just think, like I said, this bout of illness has taught me that people are completely useless. And the one point to make, people will sometimes say, oh, but you should have called me, you should have let me know. I don't need to call anybody. If you had any connection to God, God would have told you that you need to come and help me in whatever way He feels I need that help. I've helped many people myself who I had no idea that they needed help, right? But from my experience, God will not send people, He will not disturb you if you don't wish to be bothered. So it doesn't wash with me the old, oh, you should have let me know, I would have helped, but I didn't know, or whatever. But this isn't saying that the help that would have come forward is the help that I needed. Right? So, whatever. I mean, it's very hard to help somebody who's self-sufficient anyway. Right? The best that somebody could have done is bring me some food. Well, when I say food, I mean something that my stomach wouldn't reject. But then, you know, that's the last thing that's going to happen. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. So have yourselves a good Friday. Take care. Bye.